We had a discussion in our green. How do you? I think it's a great invoke. Wyvern build spirit vessel. Fight. You can here or you can Sunstrike, Cataclysm. I would definitely love.
I want to see an immediate response. Wyvern.
I thought Lashrak is good, but the side you need to get close. You spot when you're Wyvern, you by her.
Timber saw.
I feel like Quincy crew was
That's
well prepared because they left out the enchant. In many ways, they expect.
Oh, they know they're not getting it. There's no way. I guess there's a lot that goes into this that panelists they look day and night different. That wins them the information game, because yesterday during the T1 series saw that the way T1 was able to come back in the game was ganks on the map that really ended up for them and kept putting Enchantress game 1 in front of whoever's supposed to, and then they don't get any crucial kills. However, in game 2 and 3, that wasn't the case at all, and every kill that T1 got turned into much more map. And you just have to believe a team like Vici sees, you know, that the way Quincy crew operates so reliant on him. We're going to see a similar story that we saw to game 2, where instead of having the Timbersaw be the first pick out in the second round, where you just protected it with 3. Same idea, going to be almost certainly the same 3 bands, the Monkey. So, and I'm already leaning towards their draft again. I don't think this if this Death Prophet is in,
Feels a little bit more likely that it's Leslau.
it's definitely his type of hero, and I'm fine with them doing that. It's a decent side laner against Timbersaw too, so if they want to swap shenanigans. But it didn't really. Vici got to get better of them. Matchups, they did a really good job at that. That's why Weaver loves that type of game. Well, one of the few in the early game. I think Vici just had a really good understanding of to set themselves up for success. And
They banned the Void.
now that's interesting. I think isn't Yawar's signature hero, but I think he plays all these melee farmers. He has been playing a lot of loot meta, but I think that
Better synergy over. Place while that Prophet is the setup for one guy, maybe amount of heroes side, and
Good.
now a lot of pure damage. Like Timbersaw is just still they ban backlines are Wyvern.
Lion.
that's they needed some stuff. Gaming also needs a hot pick from DK still there? He is. Are they not just gonna pick?
Brewmaster.
Ooh,
Brewmaster.
Ooh, spike.
Or
Yeah.
Gyro's
Gyro.
fine against. Why Brewmat?
He's control against immobile heroes. Compare him to a lion. He's the same idea if the hero can't disengage. So I think it could be a 5. Spearman with 5 position.
Bloodseeker.
Okay.
Rupture, make place while the Prophet is the first season. Combo. I have not seen.
Yeah, you want if it's a 5, you'd really want to. A lot of considerations, a lot of anti-carries on Quincy crew. Player, I wouldn't be about picking any heroes, so you got to kind of play.
I remember also those 5 room maps. Love to play.
Have played both PY.
So the best way to counter Rupture is to just have to move. That we have seen Medusa be a little bit lackluster after win with it early. Hero clearly still has. They ban out the anti-mage. I think this might be an off-lane Bloodseeker.
One of the things said about the Medusa. Lineup does look to be operating fast.
I like Death Prophet again. Heal from Wyvern as well. Siphon. You need consistent, massive amounts of damage.
I have no. Like, this lineup is very good at reach. Wyvern's heal, Siphon, Bloodseeker. Heal will up, so. Fights. Ulti, you pop. Not convinced.
I'm a huge fan of Vici's draft this game. Pick was really job of safe lane, right? Off lane. That you got to get a bit creative. We saw Vici pick some out of meta heroes. You go through the meta hero basket. All of them were banned out. The tradition. Bloodseeker, haven't seen too much of them, but I can see exactly why they picked it. Similar. What does Vici's lineup do? I think Quincy Crew's way of playing good against do nothing style, hold the door, farm your Medusa up, eventually out carry. Lineup pace last game, I think, bidding for the win. Surprised they're kind of going back to
About this last pick. Ban for Quincy. Profit, maybe. Setup. That's probably off lane Bloodseeker. Profit.
They have like no. Gonna have Bloodseeker farms really fast. You want an early BKB builder in the carry role based on the saw. Enchantress Impetus doesn't go through BKB. Brewmaster Punish BKB. Maelstrom BKB build for Bloodseeker would be really nice here. They could just go Jug too. Jug's a really good carry matchup as the game goes on. They have no way of stunning him. Absolutely none. You know what, Yawar? Take your team. Go Jug, one of his bread and butters. Gaming.
They have no stuns. They literally have
no
zero stuns. Like, I call this invoke. It makes sense. So, crest, so you buffs honor. Who's gonna hold? Best option.
Tornado from the
Gaze,
Brewmaster.
yeah, and
Perfect timing on the drop.
A lot of tornado.
Better
They're
role play and really
on
buy into
point.
the strat.
Quadruple tornado.
So if it's an off laner,
Void incarnate.
Nope, that is an off-lane Death Prophet, and they
Okay.
go with the original advice to Quincy. Pick
They have no stuns. For some reason we were hyping up the Jug or just a survivable situation. Yeah. How do you kill this guy?
They have no silences, no stuns. I think I've seen maybe T block plus ulti, and they still won that game. I think they can still take it with buffer up, but 5.
Coming into the series, I thought Quincy Crew style matched up really like done what they've done all tournament with Craft. They do it quite well, but I just don't up well against the way Quincy Crew likes to get an early lead and farm 3 lanes and just so much net worth that eventually they'll be able to team fight you. I think Quinn's going to take.
It's game 3. The loser of this eliminated. Major, the winner, goes on to face up against Geniuses. Better pass it off to
It does feel like Vici has pivoted back to their style that Quincy was able to take advantage of in the first game. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it again with this high-paced draft. Also does have some high cooldown kind of things, but it does have that Quinn Void Spirit that he is so comfortable on. Owen, what stands out for you?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be the Quinn Void Spirit from Quincy Crew's side of things. You know, a hero that I feel in the past they would never have really got through in the draft at all, but able to get it in as our last pick. Quinn's going to be feeling very comfortable on it. Game though, I like the approach here with the Deucer. I think they've got a fantastic line. Be able to build around and protect their Deucer, buffer up, and just allow it to sort of sit there and take the fights that Quincy Crew are going to bring to them. Now, I guess the question really is, can Quincy Crew play as fast as they did in the first game and just overrun Vici Gaming before this Deucer is able to stand there without Quincy Crew being able to blow her up?
That is the Quincy Crew special though, right? Playing fast, playing aggressive. So it does feel like they've got a lineup that does work for us. And we do have to address the fact that the panel was talking about pretty much no stuns. We got Cold Snap, we got some Tornadoes coming into play from both the Brew and from the Invoker. Brew Split will be able to provide some lockdown and some catch, especially for these annoying backline heroes like Winter Wyvern. Yeah, we'll see how they're able to make it work.
Quincy Crew on the hunt here. Oh, I did have a smoke dispelled as Gaming. Knowing that something's up around here, they're unlikely to get caught out by this 5-man attempt here from Quincy Crew.
Yeah, we see deep wards again. This time it's Vici who put those deep wards to, looks like, read the lane matchups in particular.
Yeah, because in terms of the lane matchups, are we going to see quite as much stubbornness when it comes to getting certain pairings as we saw in game 2 from both teams?
Not as much, I would say. I think they do want to have... honestly, I think that Quincy Crew has addressed the Timbersaw pretty nicely. I think any lane that they have set up, like even if Leslau's versus Timber, even if Bloodseekers versus it, it's not bad at all. So I don't think we'll see as much lane shenanigans.
All right, so there for the start, at least it's going to begin with bottom 11 and DY down on the bottom against Leslau's DP. As per usual, as we're seeing Quincy Crew like to do, starting Yawar off top. Both supports hanging around, maybe just for the first wave, just to see if they can get any action, or at least to secure Yawar that first wave of safe CS.
Trying to make sure that they can block the pull too, but won't be able to. Sentry Ward instantly taken out from PYW. I do think they want to be able to give some help to Leslau. Even though he's a fast hero like Death Prophet, DY's, the harassment will start to build up from Ench. And once she gets a creep, it's going to be problematic for Leslau. Top.
No, if they've got enough, it's close, they do.
Got him.
A very nice first strike there from Quincy Crew. The old Earth Spike into the Blood Bright, the damage is done, the setup is there, and this is why Quincy Crew as a team love to do this. Start with the aggro tri-lane to look for these sort of opportunities. Bottom lane, Leslau, moved over upon by old 11, but the backup's in. LOA is able to TP over him with the Earth Spike. Holding back old 11 as old 11, he's got to back off. They won't quite have the damage to dive in and kill off Leslau. Quincy Crew, they get the first blood, and now they're able to set up with these dual lanes.
Yeah, I think LOA had to come down here pretty soon because they're going to go for these super pressure plays with an Enchantress with a Timbersaw early versus Death Prophet. Like I said, even though she's speedy, can't get dove. And, it's a bit surprising that Poyoyo does die there because they saw the 3 heroes. They knew that this was happening, but still just end up getting caught out there from the overwhelming damage. And we're seeing mid, Quinn really winning that matchup. 10-0 to the 4-0 of the Invoker. Max he can have is 7 after these 3 creeps.
Top. Gonna look to punch back, PYW.
It's a lot of slow.
Smacking into the 2 of them. MSS taking some heavy damages. They'll have to back off. Bottom lane, they managed to snipe LOA's courier there, I believe, with the summons of
the Hellbear.
DY.
Yeah. Not the best
So
creep.
overall as well, do you like this as well from Vici Gaming? You know, we've not really got to talk about it too much. As was mentioned, they do like to run this in both sort of support capacities, but the support brew, I mean, how does this work out for a hero for you right now in this position? Is it something you like to see?
I think because they had Enchantress, they wanted something that's going to cover them on all bases for teamfight, because if like they were really lacking on it, so I think that's one of those king of teamfight heroes that might be able to turn the edge, but there's nothing like crazy about Brew this game that he's like really just hard dispelling or just taking care of. I think the biggest thing for him is just finding the Winter Wyvern in the back and blocking the save versus Death Prophet. He's just going to be able to throw him up and maybe ignore him inside of the fight. Mid, Wild Wing. That's one way to offset a Void Spirit matchup. Very frustrating.
A bit of an irritation here. Yeah, for Quinn to have this tornado currently in his lane.
He's looking for it. He's going to spot it for a second. Hasn't put the points in yet. Just holding on to 2.
Yeah, fully saving his skill points, yeah. I'm going to put it to simulate now with Rory starting to step in. He's going to make sure that he goes for the stand and get the full damage out. Probably holding points just in case he would have seen an opportunity to grab someone with the Remnant. Maybe Ori if he'd stepped up too aggressively.
Yeah, I like that he's gone for farm builds rather than going for any type of kill. The only way you cover Invoker in a Quaswex is if he just makes some really bad mistake. You want to be able to maximize, and Quinn, he's all about maximizing farm. DY makes his move toward top, takes away his Satyr Tormentor, looks to want to perhaps rotate toward the top lane, but the lane's starting to do really well. Medusa, even though she did die that one time, up to 19 CS. 20 now.
Pretty close across the board. Slight net worth lead here for Vici Gaming. Well, it's top lane. Try and chase down Yawar. Instantly goes for the TP out. Doesn't want to take more damage than he needs to. I say that. He's actually going to maybe just a bit of a bait as he cancels the TP. He's ready to turn towards PYW. PYW with his own TP though will make it out. Back to the fountain he goes to get away from that attempted turnaround off Quincy crew.
Looks like it's just going to become a 1v1 in the bottom lane, too. Lion's starting to move around the map. Enchantress, we'll see what DY does when he sees the Lion moving, if he's going to look to punish Leslau, as Old 11 still does have a lot of damage. If they can bait a couple Spirit Siphons and then look to make a play when a Siphon is down, could perhaps set up for this Death Prophet, as Leslau is starting to fall behind on last hits. Move toward top.
Not funny. Took up the damage this time, caught in the blood bright. Hex control as well, charging in onto Poyoyo. He has got a pretty full wand though. And with that popped, he's going to be more than fine. PYW tries to charge in to chase down LOA instead. Quincy crew, they'll be okay themselves. They're not quite able to get that kill onto Medusa. PYW doing a good job of staying around in the area, making sure that even with the 3 of them, they don't have enough tools to take him out. Bottom lane, got the setup on a Leslau, in with the Centaur. Leslau, he's out of siphons. That was his last one gone here, and with that in mind, there's no more sustain for him. Old 11 slides across with the chain, cuts him down.
And a pretty big mistake there, I feel, from Leslau. If he just Spirit Siphons the Centaur Conqueror, he's going to get way more HP. He Spirit Siphoned DY. This is an Enchantress with 600 HP instead of a 1400 HP Centaur. I feel like he could have survived there for sure. But the constant aggression, as we mentioned, this is what Vici wanted to do. As soon as they see that Death Prophet isolated, Old 11's going to try to punish.
Yeah, and it's going to be that very scary point for Leslau now, where Old 11, pretty much with this secret, he's going to have to level 6 against the level 5 DP, so this is not easy.
They're glyphing the wave too, they're keeping the siege going.
And we'll see if they have TPs at the ready, but now with the 6 hit on Old 11, they're going to collapse on Leslau immediately. Leslau, how much is Cypher's going to do to keep him alive? He's got another one in a few seconds.
He looks pretty
Still definitely struggling against these 2 of them. He's trying to dance around them, but he can't get away. As a second kill, this bottom lane just proving to be a bit of a death trap for him. At the same time, top, PYW and Poyoyo. They run down Yawar as Vici Gaming getting huge core kills here in both of the side lanes. Tower as well. Tier 1 on the bottom lane, it's gone.
Definitely not a game where you want to start falling behind with this early centric draft versus a late game crazy scaling lineup with a Medusa Invoker core. It's not a good sign here for Quincy Crew, and it's only 7 minutes in. Medusa pretty much full free farm. Invoker now taking over the mid lane. And Timbersaw, we saw what Old 11 was able to do last time. Sure, he was versus a Wraith King matchup, which is excellent, but he is versus some pretty good heroes that he can burst, and it's the counteract versus Cold Embrace, that high burst damage that Timbersaw does do.
Without doubt, eyes are going to be on Quinn. What can the man achieve this game? He's level 7, he's got the phase boots and an arcane rune in the bottom bottle. This would be a good time to try and look for a hit. The top lane's tough, which we're seeing. Poyoyo constantly being backed up by PYW. It's not an easy hero to dive upon. So they can look towards Ori mid, but again, Vici Gaming keeping their bases covered here. DY keeping himself in the trees, ready for any sort of aggressive moves onto Ori. And Quinn, he's just going to have to find any small opportunity and strike as hard as possible.
They got to start stalling these pushes. Like, MSS has to rotate over here and start Splinter Blasting. They can't lose another tower this early, or the game is going to become incredibly difficult for them to ever make aggressive moves onto the Medusa. Because if you start losing these towers so early, it starts to become obvious if you are making moves, because the creep waves will dictate and show where you are on the map. Mid, Quinn.
See the setup on a Quinn. He's got enough mana there for the step up to the high ground. He makes it away.
Ooh, free courier.
Oh. Bringing some back up top. Blood right.
Hey.
Leslau's coming over with the ghost. He's ready to try and fight this. Other way will go down, but Leslau could have a nice bit of a cleanup here. Take out PYW. He's going to charge over towards Poyoyo, but with the point in the stone gaze, Leslau's got to keep his distance. The backup as well there from Ori. Trying to stop them from diving in onto the Medusa. Poyoyo is out of mana. Yawar not quite hitting the 6 though. They'll bring more firepower up to the top lane here. Quincy Crew, the CCNC, he's ready to join Yawar. He'll drop the blood bright, but the 3 of them surround him. Yawar, he's got to be careful. Leslau charging in to push them away. Yawar will be saved. Quinn for his target and chasing down DY. DY's a little too speedy. One astral step available from Quinn. It wouldn't be enough to chase him. He's going to look for the bigger kills instead. Straight over towards Poyoyo. Quinn, has he got enough to finish off this Deucer? Another step in. Quinn, he really needs this kill and he's going to get it. Quinn will take down Poyoyo. He's ready to swing back over towards Moore. Comes in with a big jump with the dissimulate. Ori getting taken out. We'll get the tornado down. Gets taken down though. Quinn out of mana, trying to run, but the damage is done from Vici Gaming. Yawar looking towards PYW. PYW up to the high ground, healing up as they'll keep him alive. Yawar's got to step back. Old 11's silence about to come to an end in a minute. Chakram off the mark. The timber chain, it is. Old 11 comes crashing through, brings down Yawar, and he's going to look towards MSS as well as they surround the Wyvern. Vici Gaming, they may have lost a couple of cores, but they'll hit back hard and take a fair few cores themselves there. Old 11 cleaning up in style.
And the supports just get so enabled from this. PYW about to hit 6. DY is 6 now on the Enchantress. They survived during the whole thing, so earn charges aplenty. They can keep themselves healed up now to be able to fight again. Did see Quinn get some big kills, but I don't think Vici minds too much as Poyoyo immediately goes toward bottom side. He's going to build the farm now, stack up some Ancients and hard camp for himself
Quinn
as this Dusa. Quinn?
Sifting against some of the squishies here. Quick jump onto DY. They're able to blow up the Enchantress.
Nice move.
So they can do anything about PYW. PYW has the 6. Try and get it off with the Hex coming in. It's not enough to stop him from popping the Primal Split. The Split still comes out, turns straight away over towards LOA. They bring down the Lion. Quinn, he's into the shadows here with the Invis. He's going to be fine.
Can't dispel that Invis. Does not work versus invisibility runes. Still have a sentry
back
there.
Under the sentry. But they won't have any follow-ups. So PYW sends him up, backs off.
Old 11, 4-0-1, top of net worth. Now starting to pressure top tower. Siege wave is coming over Yawar. Yawar wants to try to stop this push, but he has to be careful himself. He's going to go for Old 11 too. The TP, they get it canceled.
They should have him in. Multiple ways to put an end to that TP attempt. Very necessary kill there for Quincy Crew. They've got to shut down Old 11 as he is really starting to take over the game. So Quincy Crew
instant smoke
will be able to deal with him. They know they want to play it fast. Quinn, he's constantly going to be looking for action. He doesn't want to be hitting creeps. He wants to be hitting heroes.
They have to punish some of this greed. Ori.
Quick setup, Quinn. Perfect catch. Straight in with the step and the remnant. Blow up Ori.
And they've got the ult.
Mid tower. Good pressure ready to go from Leslau. Just let's see what Vici Gaming want to do in terms of a defense. Poyoyo just making use of the space down bottom. PYW sticking up towards the top half of the map as you are. Pushing in with the siege creep top. Good pressure here from Quincy Crew. 5 seconds, they'll have Ori back in the game, but the damage is being done. This tier 1 certainly starting to fall. Old 11. He's going to start charging in, trying to to push them back off this. Leslau taken low here. The Remnant will grab Aurea. They'll use the curse, holding them back, making sure that Leslau will be kept safe. They are able to back away. DY still trying to chase in and get a catch on to the DP, but Leslau's far enough away. Top lane, Yawar pretty much taking out that tier 1 tower top as well. So, but these tier 1's getting pressured very heavily by Quincy crew. Now Vici Games going to try their best in response. Straight down the mid, they go Old 11 immediately, and on top of MSS with the cold snap. There's no escape for MSS. Yawar looks to turn with the rupture down onto the Timber Saw. See if they've got enough damage to bring down this Timber. They're draining him low with the Siphon. LOA swings across with the stun. They'll bring down Old 11 once again. Another big kill here for Quincy crew is to take away the crucial frontline component of Vici Gaming's charge.
Poyoyo gets the space though. Top of net worth now on the Medusa, even though she does have 2 deaths. Level 11. She's got a lot of time because of these constant moves. Old 11, he does get punished for being a bit too over-aggressive 2 times over and over again, but he'll have a TP available for next. Quincy crew. Still an okay spot, but they don't have the same type of farm mechanics, right? Like this Bloodseeker, he's not going to be nearly as enabled as this Dusa, who will eventually start to get alacrities and stuff like that. This is quite a problem here. Yawar needs to find some more farm.
Definitely, it's not an easy or fun lineup to play from behind. No. Especially against this Poyoyo. Soon to hit the 12. Quinn still working on his yours, pushing in on the top here. And see what Quincy's next move is going to be.
Or he's gone for full greed this game. They have the urn finished up early on the Brewmaster, so he's just going straight for Aghanims. Going for that Cataclysm versus the Cold Embrace. We've seen this now time and time again, especially from Team Nigma. He's able to do this kind of greedier build that will result in not just Cataclysm, but higher points in Alacrity for the Medusa as well, with those high points of Exor that he's starting to put into.
This smoke. They can catch anything, they'll find LOA. Tornado down, onto the Lion. And he will be able to turn here with the upright back up in Yawar and the stun. It's not enough to get him out of there, though. Still managed to take down the Lion. Yawar's farm will begin to pick up now with the Maelstrom complete. Still has quite a way to go there to be able to get anywhere close to what Poyoyo's being able to clean up from his half of the map.
And they're having to react to everything. It's Vici really setting the pace this game. It's always on the side of Quincy's. So they're never going to be able to get to Poyoyo's side. They have to be able to win a fight soon and get to where this Medusa's farming, because she's level 13. Look at the rest of the levels inside the game. Next highest is 11. Bloodseeker's level 9.
I mean, what's sort of the move that Quincy crew has to make to deal with him? We're going to see the smoke come out. Is it as sort of simple as just committing fully onto the Dusa, trying to blow Poyoyo up before backup comes in?
I think they have to get her at least once, otherwise this game's going to start looking pretty impossible for them. Poyoyo, though, seems to be reading it. Getting a ward around Ancients isn't a bad option either, so that they can at least know when they have an opportunity to go for her. But do have to be careful, because Vici, they've got everything ready to fight. Spirit Vessel finished up on PYW as well. And they're going to smoke back. They're reading this move here from Quincy. Quincy's got to be careful not to get sandwiched.
See if they catch it. Quinn. Cleaning up the small camp. LOA, Lesau, they're ready to try and come in from the side. So already Quinn's been spotted by Old 11. LOA's trying to charge it over towards Poyoyo, but Poyoyo is able to step out to the side. PYW in with the primal split. LOA, he's been left behind. The Lion will fall. The tornado grab onto Lesau. They're chasing down the DP. They're throwing him up, buying time for Vici Gaming to come in, surround him. As Vici Gaming prepared there for Quincy crew's attempts to make a move. They continue to just keep Poyoyo safe, through the immense difficulties that Quincy crew are having to deal with when it comes to trying to slow down and deal with how much Poyoyo is farming.
He's so big already, level 14, and it's not a good core versus core matchup either, especially as a Bloodseeker who's not ahead. If you're a Medusa and you're able to get this type of start in the game, it's very hard to recover on Quincy. MSS in position for a curse.
See what they can do it. They'll start with the rupture on a Poyoyo. Catch him with a stun, keeping him in the blood right. And committing when the Mancer's up and ready to turn. Yawar, he's got to step back. The curse will hold back PYW, but Yawar, he's still dying to the damage from DY. His impetus is from the side. That's Yawar gone. There's now, they're going to charge him the exorcism. Quinn jumps in with the 2-man Astral step over with the dissimulate towards PYW. But Lesau, he's just dying into the right clicks of Poyoyo as Poyoyo already turned over towards the Death Prophet. Leslau will fall. It's 3 dead on Quincy Crew. Quinn looking towards Poyoyo. In with the Shibboleth. Can he burst him in time? No, Poyoyo with the wand. He's fine. Pop the wand. Poyoyo's away. They lose 4 on Quincy Crew, just the 2 on Vici Gaming. Maybe they're going to lose 5. In fact, here Quincy as Vici Gaming have the grab onto MSS as Ori leads him with the tornado. MSS trying to hide in the trees, but Old Lem's able to clear them out with the chakram. They'll get the full team wipe here, Vici Gaming.
They were so close to bringing down Poyoyo multiple times, but he got like 2-3 snakes off, ends up surviving because of it. I think he also gets arcane booted, I believe, from some of his teammates. They built, what, 1, 2 arcane boots, so just that little bit of extra restore. It looked like they were going to get him, but these little things do add up. Look at how close he gets. Oh, man. That's devastating. That's the big hold for them to come back in the game, and now it's a 9K lead for a Medusa lineup. Level 16, second on the Medusa. This is looking really difficult already for Quincy Crew.
It's been hard fights as well for Leslau. He's just not at a point where he can really charge in and be that frontline DP at the moment. Even with the siphons going off, they're still managing to take him out.
It's such an early vessel on PYW. He just vessels him, and then sure, you get your siphons off, but you're just getting wailed on. As LOA, it's found again.
Just getting kills all over the place, and with these sort of kills, yeah, Ori, this Aghanim's pretty much done here. Midas Ags, yes, it's going to be complete 18 minutes in, some very fast timings, flying out for all 3 cores of Vici Gaming this match.
Level 14 too, so he's got 5 points in exo. Look at that alacrity, 58 attack speed, 58 damage for the Medusa, who already is hitting hard. Quincy Crew needs to win the next fight, or I think this game just might already be over.
Poyoyo. I see Quinn with the setup. This could be a good catch if they can take him down before backup comes in. The silence off. Is there any help in time? Poyoyo, he's able to get the stone gaze off. He's off to the side. The heal of the chance is not enough. They'll bring him down. Quincy Crew, if they can get more out of this, this will be huge. They've got the setup onto PYW. The curse into the blood right. Remnant off the mark. PYW is able to step out of the side. He's still able to put the primal splits. They're going to try and fight without their Deucer here, Vici Gaming. Let's see if they're strong enough to do so. Leslau getting burnt down low by the impetuses. They're trying to come in, and Leslau still alive. Old 11 caught in the blood right. They bring down the Timbersaw. A 3rd kill here for Quincy Crew. Yawar trying to work through the primal splits. PYW is attempting route to run, but the astral step is back up. Quinn's in with the damage. They have the control. Quincy Crew strike back.
Oh, they needed that so badly. They catch the Medusa out of position. Team not there to back her up. That was perfect there from Quincy. Great exorcism. Leslau dropping low, but this time he's not spirit vesseled up. He's able to just stick inside of the fights because the Bruce split is caught on the side there, going for the Lion. A great, well-executed fight that they absolutely needed. Chunking down that net worth lead. 10K down to 6K. Same thing for experience. Look how low he drops multiple times on Leslau. Really nicely dancing around the fight.
Yeah, they've really had it in from the last few times, but absolutely pulling it together and going for that BKB, of course, next. Once he does have that one done, he's going to be feeling so confident charging in and just being this hero that Vici Gaming will struggle to deal with. Just sort of running around and causing havoc, especially with the mass silences that are going to be coming out in these team fights.
As long as he's not getting spirit vesseled up in the fight, Leslau should be able to survive and run through.
Poyoyo back to farming. Probably have learned his lesson after that last bit of a move down bottom. Won't be caught as far away than the rest of his teammates or the backup of the tower for potential TPs again.
And probably won't use Manta to farm again, because I believe that's what caused that whole entire situation. He didn't have Manta to remove the silence, and then he doesn't have time to pop the stone gaze, so Quincy Crew taking advantage of it nicely, keeping themselves in the game. They need a couple more of those, though.
They do. And Quincy Crew, their team fight is going to be rather annoying. I mean, you look at just the amount of silences they'll have. Because bear in mind, in Vici Gaming, not really heroes that are rushing BKBs or anything. So they will have this ability to really disable what Vici Gaming is trying to throw out at them. Quinn's working on the Aghanims. He's going to have 2 rounds of the silence. Yawar's got the blood right, and of course that silence from Leslau. These are heavy duration silences. If they can bring these together smartly, it will make it difficult for Vici Gaming to fight into it. Quincy Crew is going to take the lead here with Leslau charging in for the Roshan. See if they're able to do anything about this Vici Gaming.
Have a ward there. They see old 11.
But they're going to look for the jump. Straight away, Quinn's up to the high ground. He's found old 11. They've got the Hex locked down. They've been able to blow up the Timber. That's the Timber Saw down. Quincy Crew Leslau. Tornado into the EMP. Leslau. He's going to fall here this time round. He's not able to survive. And Poyoyo sweeping in with the Stone Gaze, looking towards Yawar. He's going to get caught in the Sunstrike. Yawar pops the BKB. It's not going to save it. Poyoyo's able to right-click him down. They're getting forced back. MSS has to TP out of this. Seeing the River Quinn. He's jumping out with the Simulate and the Astros that they may have been able to quickly dispatch of old 11. But Vici Gaming, they're ready to take a fight, of course, with this lead that they have, even with the Timber Saw down. Scardy complete on Poyoyo. The Timber Saw kill, it was just not anywhere near to the same impact as that of killing the Medusa as they did last team fight.
No, they don't have the BKB yet on the Death Prophet. This time, PYW does get the Vessel off onto her, and then she just gets evaporated in no time. And now it's a Medusa with an Aegis, with the Ayascati finish too. So all that healing that they do have on their draft between the Wyvern, between the Death Prophet, even more reduced. And now the BKB won't be as effective also when Poyoyo is able to hit onto that Death Prophet when Leslau does finish it. Still continues to be a hard game. Yeah.
Quite comfortably here for Vici Gaming at 11k, 22 to 15. Quincy Crew's lineup, one that does get heavily punished with each and every bad fight that's taken now at this stage. Quinn getting onto PYW. There's no split. See if they can take out Crew with the burst of the finger. They can.
They can.
Bring down PYW. What more can they get? They're looking over towards DY in the river. Quinn on the chase. He's able to close the gap, sets up with the Yules. They'll be able to find themselves a second grab here, Quincy Crew.
Very nice. All these kills do matter. They need to start getting them. Did Yawar get either of them? No, Yawar not able to get either of them. Unfortunately, he's still in a tough spot. 2, 4, and 8 on this Bloodseeker. They still have this ward that they caught old 11 with earlier. It was spotting out Ori for a moment. Poyoyo is starting to get pinged out though, so they do have their own vision that is going to see Quincy Crew rotating over. Poyoyo. He's walking into them. He's feeling really strong.
The Aegis. No fear of being burst by Quincy Crew, and Quincy Crew know that they don't want to spend much longer on this half of the map for Vici Gaming. Quinn backing off. Very close to having the Aghanims done here on the Void Spirit.
More silence. It's going to be really good versus that Brewmaster, versus that Timber. There is a Lotus already done on old 11, but versus the Brew, it's going to be extremely effective until PYW gets his Aeon Disc, which he is very far away from still. About 2k more gold. Or sorry, 12 more gold.
Stepping up. Lotus Orb's down onto him. Immediately old 11 making sure that they're put off from committing any further onto DY, and it's going to work. Quincy Crew, they'll back off. MSS just trying to start clearing out this mid lane of creeps. Poyoyo's pushing in. He's ready to start beating into the towers. This tier 2. See what response Quincy Crew's going to come up with. Yawar still trying his best to farm elsewhere on the map. Get this Mjolnir done, so he's got some sort of offensive potential in the team fights. But yeah, they don't want to look to defend these towers right now against Medusa with an Aegis. Vici Gaming able to take out the tier 2, open up the availability to get this outpost in their favor.
And now they're going to go into the Ancient side too and farm, and these illusions from the Medusa cut the whole bottom wave, continue to farm the jungle too. These are not Manta illusions, that's an illusion rune. And Poyoyo, he steals away the Ancients. Yawar has to just run to find some type of farm top. 12k gold lead already though. 12k experience lead too, and as you mentioned, outpost was taken away. So it's going to continue to grow. Quincy, they just need to find these pickoffs, but they have to wait until this Aegis is gone. If they can find Poyoyo isolated, then perhaps they can go for something like that again, but it still is looking difficult.
Setting up around mid, Quincy Crew just making sure they're here to back up Yawar. He does get jumped upon, doing their best to make any sort of area of this map safe for Yawar to continue to farm in.
He needs so much more though. He's level 16, Medusa level 21. With a full butterfly coming out on the courier any moment now. He is just so far ahead on Medusa.
He is. He's having such a good game. And interesting, I mean, yeah, Medusa is a hero. Sort of had different opinions from different players. You know.
Yeah.
Do you feel Medusa is still always going to have a space as this carry, even with some of the changes to the talents that were, sort of referred to as one of the reasons why some teams just don't like playing this hero?
I think if you just avoid going for the Aghanims build, and if you just have a good core-to-core matchup, it can still work. Like, he's versus Bloodseeker. Like, if you get ruptured, you just stand there. You don't really care most of the times as Dusa, so... this game it definitely feels very appropriate. It's onto the high ground, Alacrity push. Quinn.
But look for the jump on Odd 11. He's able to get the Lotus off in time, and that means they'll be able to turn, get the combo onto Quinn. Quinn able to break out of the cold snap here with the Yules, and he will be away. Jumps back to safety with the Simulate.
Scary
Next round
for a
of creeps are coming in. Out of the way. He's got to back right off as Poyoyo nearly takes him down there with the damage coming out from this Deucer. Now back off with the mana low, but
can you imagine if he dies because of like a Lotus Orb play reflecting a Lion Stun? That would be so devastating.
yeah, certainly have to watch out for these quick moves from Old 11.
There's that B-flat finished.
I like this, you know. This is what you want to see. If you're down 14k as a team, don't sit on the high ground. You've got to look for these aggressive moves. This is the only way you're going to be able to get yourself really back into it. Look to get out and hit Vici Gaming when they don't expect it. Problem is that Vici Gaming, there, even with the lead they have, they're playing very safe. Full 5 of them in their jungle. If you do find them, you're probably not going to have a good time.
No, and they were trying to make the move because the Aegis was getting reclaimed right at that moment, so they were trying to catch them split up for a second there. But look at top wave. Like this is a tell right here. They know that Quincy Crew's trying to make something here when those creeps are just pushing that far in. Quincy Crew waiting patiently on the high ground though. Old 11, he's gonna go for the brunt force. Just walking right in.
He wants to start things off straight away. They get in with the jump onto the Invoker. They're looking to burst through. They're able to do so. That's all out of the fight. They get the grab on Poyoyo. Straight away looking over towards the Deuce. Poyoyo puts the Stone Gaze in the Manta style. Quincy Crew, they'll start to kite it out to the side. Leslau keeping a lockdown onto D-White with the Spirit Siphon. Another 3-man silence laid down by Leslau. Poyoyo starting to run low on the mana. He's got the damage to force Yawar back. Yawar pops the BKB. He still can't quite get in there. Leslau gets blown up. Quinn jumps in over to PYW, but the Primal Split's still good to go. As the split's out, Quinn's held in place by the boulder. Triple kill for Poyoyo, as they just cannot kill or really threaten this Medusa. Even with the Aegis gone, they do their best to fight around it. They get a fantastic jump onto the Invoker, blowing up Ori. But it's not enough to turn it into anything more than just that. As Poyoyo, he seems very far beyond the point where he really is this hero that they just cannot fight anywhere close to.
No, they threw everything onto him too. After they kill the Invoker, they throw the Rupture, they try to collapse onto him with the Death Prophet, but then we see, the Scotty just hits onto Death Prophet, she can't run in, and a great dispel. PYW with the Primal Split dispels the defensive Yules off of Quinn. He lands right in front of Deuce and just gets completely wrecked. And we see DY, they totally lock it. We've mentioned it a lot of times. He's just healing, restoring this Medusa's mana every single one of these fights. There's a good approach from Quincy Crew, but we're just seeing that the power of this Medusa is just too farmed.
Absolutely, and going for this Satanic next. I mean, if they couldn't kill him before that, kill him with a Satanic would be so hard. Yeah, we see on the replay again. I mean, they do, they get the mana down low. They are starting to burn through Poyoyo's sustain, but it's just not enough. And by the time it gets close, they're just starting to lose heroes left, right, and center. Yawar, he can't get in there, even with the BKB, getting anywhere close to the Skadi do. So he knows if he's running in, he's not going to be getting back out.
Old 11's he's just a absolute tank. He just runs right through everybody. They ignored him at the start, but either way, the damage is done when he's able to just sit on top of the Wyvern, sit on top of the Bloodseeker, and have no cares. Just zoning him away from that Deusa. Vici, 18,000 gold lead. It's continuing to get harder and harder.
Let's see what Quinn goes for next. A bit of money saved up. DY gonna head over. They're able to get the push together once more. I mean, Roshan is going to be up in a minute, so we could see Vici Gaming continues to play a bit reserved, wait for that next Rosh.
I don't know what big items are the ticker, right? So what's the next big thing for Quincy? It feels like it's like the MKB for Yawar, but he's ways away from that. And even then, I don't know if that's going to solve the damage issues. Quincy still hasn't queued up which item he's going for, but I just don't know which one it is. Like, sure, he can go for his own, like, Kaya Sanj, something like that to give him a little more damage, but is that going to change the outcome of the fights? It doesn't feel like it right now.
Oh, unfortunate there for Leslau. Losing the curry with the plate mail on.
Ouch.
Quincy Crew smoked up, looking to see if they can find a catch, maybe get a hero out on their own. As We see Vici Gaming, they've just done a very good job of not being caught like this. And LOA tries to jump in, tries to set him on a Poyoyo. Quinn's coming in with a follow-up. They're committing everything onto the Deucer. They're coming with the BKB and the Exorcism. They're staying on top of Poyoyo. Yawar charging as well with the BKB. Can they bring down this Medusa? They can't. Poyoyo just clean it up. 3 down. The curse will come out. It's not going to turn the tides of this fight, though, as MSS still falls. Quinn trying to run away. They've got the control from the Primal Splitters. They set him up in the air, ready to bring him down. He's got one more jump, but he can't even get it off. The cold snap immediately there from Ori. As it's a team wipe, they just clean up completely straight into Roshan. This Rosh will be theirs, as it's looking like there really is very little left in the tank from Vici, from Quincy Crew to throw at Vici Gaming. Once again, they just can't kill this Medusa. Poyoyo, he's just too damn farmed.
He is just too big, absolutely. If they were not as far behind as they are right now, they could have probably killed it. We saw multiple times now where they got Poyoyo so low, so close to taking him out, but gets healed up, gets reset, and they just get fully wiped there. They're just lacking the damage. Look how low they got her, but is it really that low? And she just able to turn around and just get, I mean, these holy lockets too, just keeps getting healed, these sticks. And now 20 seconds till the Void Spirit's back up, and they're just losing their whole base.
I mean, yeah, pretty much 30k lead here. Second wave being taken. You know, Quincy Crew, they'll probably pull it together for one last fight here on the main stage. Let's see what they can do. LOA, he's heading in. He's been caught by the Hex. That's the Lion gone. Leslau just getting shredded here by the damage out for Poyoyo. And there it is. GG is called. Vici Gaming take game 3 with that. That series is theirs 2-1 against Quincy Crew as they'll moving on here. And my goodness, this game 2 and game 3 performance, there's no doubt about it. Vici Gaming absolutely playing with the thunder that you need to be able to carry you, continue on potentially quite far in this tournament. If they can keep up these approaches from the second and third game, the draft in particular as well, some of these ideas from Vici Gaming that they're bringing into the mix, it's just working perfectly and completely outdid what Quincy Crew tried to play in this game 2 and game 3. Vici Gaming had them figured out.
They did. They did get smashed the first game, though. Quincy came with a really strong approach this time around, though. These last 2 games, seems like the approach from Vici